Welcome, bravo. I'll let everyone gather their thoughts for a moment. I'll take some questions from the audience, and I'll start by asking a few of my own. Malgorzata, it's your first English language film, and we've been so excited of any project you make. Can you tell us how you came to this story specifically?
I mean, the story came to me, I would say. I have met 2 years ago at Cannes Film Festival at 5 a.m. in the morning at the bar. David Lancaster, a producer who is a producer with Stephanie, and he just asked me if I know a good DOP, a cinematographer, and I said yes, and I suggest him my cinematographer, Michał, who did that movie. And then David, he was kind of obligated to watch all our work, and then suddenly they sent me script, like me, Stephanie and David. And I said, of course, yes to the script because I really love it. I think it was very disturbing and kind of edgy. I like it.
Catherine, is this what you had in mind for your writing?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when you see all of the stuff and you're like, oh, I wrote a really strange film, so.
Yes, kind of. I mean, we are all a little bit shocked because we saw it on the big screen and it's like a little bit annoying. I mean, crazy. Yes, kind of.
Raffey, it's been a few years since we've been on stage together at TIFF, and now you're in this lead role in a film. Can you tell us how you prepared to play Sella?
I don't know if I prepared in any way. I don't think there was any way to prepare for this. I think as soon as I got on set, it kind of threw me straight into it, you know, and that was all, no preparation necessary for that, really just threw me in.
Michiel, I have the same question for you. How did you prepare to play the shepherd?
I prepared like crazy, like crazy. And then I had to throw everything overboard as soon as I came on set because Malgo just didn't, he's such a strong director. And so I hope she asked me to do another movie with her, and I know now that I never have to learn my lines because I'm not going to end up saying any of them. Yeah, sorry, Catherine. Is this one working, by the way?
I don't know. Your voice is very like, you are loud.
No.
We would love some questions from the audience. Raise your hands up
maybe
high.
better not.
Yeah. Is everyone in shock? Complete shock? Or am I blind? Yes, right here.
Where did you guys film that? Ireland. It's Ireland. It's like a really fantastic landscape.
Wicklow.
And thank you, Screen Ireland, because it's like amazing. They gave us some, money, and they let us to film in Wicklow area.
So all of this was shot within probably an hour's drive from Dublin, and all the locations we found there. And I had been shooting in Ireland before, and so I knew. Yes, Game of Thrones as well.
It's very shitty TV
it's
series.
Tiny show. Very shitty. And so
it's a joke.
But seriously, is this thing working or not? Because I do want to be heard. Like, I mean, if people can't hear me, like, oh my God, I'm talking to who am I talking? No, but seriously. So I've never been as cold in my life as on this one day of shooting in June for Game of Thrones in the northern part of Ireland. Now, we were going to shoot this film with minimal means in January and February in Ireland. So I kept telling Malgo, like, okay, Malgo, are you sure? Can't we just push it for like 2 months or something? Do it in spring, because it's going to be pretty tough. And Malgo was saying, like, no, it's going to be good for the movie. It's going to be real. We don't have to act. So everything you see is real.
Yeah.
True, you said that.
Yes. And you are always complaining, like, oh my God, it's so cold.
No, I was never complaining.
Yes, to the hand in the back.
Hi.
Production designer, it's Ferdia from Ireland. But I have to be also very honest that I did a lot of job as a set designer too. I inspired my set designer with some, elements, like with the wool and etc. Yeah, but we had a very good Irish crew.
Absolutely. Plus, we do have to pay like a lot of respect to our amazing DP, which we should keep to ourselves.
Yes.
Don't tell anyone. But oh my God,
He stay in Poland, unfortunately. He
we
can't
keep
do
him
it.
in Poland.
The question is, can you speak to your production design choices?
Yeah, but it's like I mean it's so much connected with the picture, with the cinematography. I mean, like it's like all together, and it's kind of came to us from the modern visual artists like Jeff Wallace and Crowdson, the very modern photographers. And American photographers. That was like an inspiration for us, and like a direct inspiration, really, in a visual way. I mean, both set designing and the light and cinematography. Of course, we didn't took it like one-to-one, but it was like a huge inspiration for me and for Michal, that two photographers, Crowdson and Jeff Wallace.
If there are any hands in the balcony, you really have to wave them. It's hard to see. Yes. Yell it out. The question is, what happened to Sella after she fell asleep?
What happened to her? I mean, it's a kind of mystery. I would say she had a vision. I mean, she has the movie is very dreamy, and part of the movie takes a place in her head. Then probably we can't explain like exactly very realistic and pragmatic way what exactly happened. But because she became a woman, she got her first period, she got a kind of vision which is like connected with the lambing and with the giving birth and with the blood. And it's like she feels that she's like unclean, that she lost her, she's not pure anymore, she's not clean anymore. Then she see the lamb like deformated, and that's why she's killing the lamb. Of course, she can't tell to shepherd that she killed the lamb because she had a vision that it's like deformated lamb because she got just her period. Then that's what happened. But to me, it's like I would say much more, because it's like something changed in her femininity, in her soul, in her body, physically. She became a woman, but because she's like from that cult, she thought that she's special because she's pure. She doesn't have her period yet. And suddenly, when she got that, she starts to feel like unclean.
I'm hoping, can you all take some time to talk about what the atmosphere was like on set?
Oh no.
No? You were there.
Stephanie.
What to say? I mean, it was very cold. It was kind of like being at a weird summer camp for 2 months, I would say. We had no cell phone reception for most of the time.
Very cold.
Very, very cold. But we, as Malgo said, we had a really great Irish crew, and I would say we became a tight-knit bunch. But yeah, it was the kind of shoot where there's a lot of potential for things to go wrong.
We had also a lot of whiskey.
A lot of whiskey, yes, of course, gin and tonics, yes. No.
We also had real sheep.
Yes.
And a ram.
Yes.
Which I liked, and a sheep herder that took care of that.
Yes.
Because I couldn't really do that. I was only acting. That's the one. They really didn't listen to the shepherd. That was disappointing. But we also had a real lamb that was 2 days old. I pretend cut its throat, so no worries. But I was also holding it, and it didn't make it into the cut of the movie. I don't know why, Malgo. I was also holding it around my neck, which is one of the greatest things I've ever experienced. And it's now, I've since put it in my rider. It's in every contract. In every
Baby
movie
lamb.
I do, I want to be able to put a lamb around my neck, have it lick my... But a funny story about this lamb too, that it was 2 days old, but it was rejected by its mom, and so it was raised by a goat. true.
True.
Yeah.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you. What drew you to the project, and how is it different from other projects you've done before? Open question.
Open. I'm gonna be very fast. You know, to me, it's like first English-speaking film that is like very different, and I had like producers behind me, even so nice like Stephanie, but still, you know, in Europe you are like complete. I was always producer by myself. And I did my own stories. This time I did a Catherine story, and I had, like I said, I sharing a lot of with Stephanie. Like we work very close together. But I found it very interesting, and I'm totally open to that kind of experience because, you know, it's something very new to me, and I think it's a challenge. But on the other hand, it gives me a lot. It's a kind of, gives me kind of distance. For example, tonight, I was watching this movie first time. Usually I'm so nervous that I can't stay. I can't stay during the screening. I'm running out. And Stephanie, she said, you have to stay, no way, and etc. And I stay. And first time, I wasn't very nervous, you know. Maybe because I'm not an author. She's an author. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, it's kind of easier. It's like a, maybe at the end of the day, it might bring a better quality on the screen because you have a kind of a real distance. It's a paradox, but maybe it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had 20 wives before. That was new for me.
Raffey?
For me, it was kind of a crazy coming of age story about a young girl growing up in this cult, which you don't come across every day. So I really wanted to do it, and I wanted to work with this amazing bunch.
As the originator of this, I guess, I've been obsessed with cults for years, and kind of I devoured every documentary about them. This was a short story I wrote that I then adapted into my
How do you
own
feel about
screenplay.
cults now?
It's, well,
Because
pretty
there is
positive.
room. We can talk about this. Sorry, Catherine. Keep going.
Fine. This is why I write, you know. I'm just gonna have to reassess. No,
You were talking about
yeah,
cults
no, I was talking
and
about-
obsessions.
Well, it's funny. I was obsessed with them for years, and after I finished this and kind of like exercised it, I haven't really gone back to them. And I think it's just something where sometimes, like, this wasn't a sensible story for me to write. It didn't really fit with where I was meant to be in terms of the right script or the next project or whatever. And I was just like, cool, but I have to write this. I have to get this out. And it's here. So yay.
Congratulations.
Stephanie was the first person to read it and really love it in terms of like producing.
Yeah, I read the script first, and we talked about it for a long time. But yeah, I mean, I think we've talked a lot about how cult stories kind of often focus a lot on the leader and what he's saying, and how he's sort of dictating his followers, and how that arc happens from a young age. And this story kind of shifted that perspective a little bit through the eyes of these women. And on the page, it just didn't spoon feed you anything. It was like kind of crawling into this strange fever dream. And then I met Malgo, and I was like, she's a strange fever dream, and it's kind of perfect. So yeah, and then we just kind of all, I think, approached it very intuitively and yet different from each other. So
Yeah.
There was this amazing moment on set. So I was on set for a little bit of the shoot where it was me, Stephanie, Malgo sitting behind the monitors as the female producer, writer, and director, with mostly women on screen in front of us, and it's pretty great. And Michiel.
Poor
of course,
Michiel.
mostly women, and Michiel, the token man.
Yes, Black Hoodie. Can you speak to the rationale about making your first non-Polish language film, and if you'll
I
continue
think,
doing that?
You know, I think because maybe because I've done like 7 feature films in Poland, some of them co-productions like with France or with Germany, but most of all of them in Polish language. One French with Juliette Binoche. And actually, after the 6 Polish movies, I would say, I start to feel a little bit fed up with this kind of model of cinema, like repetitive, really repetitive, and I start to feel like maybe I need a kind of very different experience, and maybe someone can give me a script, or maybe someone can bring me a story, and maybe I can just try a different model. And I just felt like very ready to do it. And exactly in that very moment, the other lamp arrived on the table. Then somehow, of course, I was really afraid before, really. I was like, before the shooting, I was really like, I felt a huge anxiety, how it's gonna be, and if I can find myself in that situation. But I think actually it was not so bad. No, it was good. And yes, I'm very open to do more English-speaking films, and probably I will make them.
Listen, I wish we could keep talking to you. Thank you so much for coming to the world premiere of the film. It's still showing 2 more times. Tell your friends, tell your family, and vote on tiff.net/vote. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.